Hi, moguls. Welcome to the show. Today, we're going to go over top 10 SPACs for you to invest in or consider. And thank you for listening. And please hit the 5 stars with a nice review and go in the summary. And you can get a free stock on Robinhood to support the podcast, or you can simply subscribe to our YouTube channel, or even you can donate to the podcast, like Buy Me Coffee, Sneakies, or anonymous content. Thank you so much. So let's get into the top 10. And if you listen to the end, I always give you 10 more for bonus. All right, so first you're like, well, what is a SPAC? What is a SPAC? SPAC is a special purpose acquisition company, and they're formed for the sole purpose of a merger with another business. And right now, if you're on Robinhood, you get early IPOs, which means initial public offering. You can invest in it before it comes out. And, the earlier you invest in something that's great, you get in while the prices are low, and hopefully you've investigated and done the research with your licensed broker, and you see that it could be a good company. Otherwise, you have to buy it when it's already up. The stock is up, and you missed the low end, and you're already buying in the high end. Okay, and the SPACs are just going increasing in the last couple of years. So we're going to go over some SPACs that might be interesting. So first I'm going to say, well, how does a SPAC work? Okay, there's 3 phases. So one, the IPO, the initial public offering, they have to get their attorneys and auditors, and they incorporate the SPACs and sell, and the founders tell how many shares they have, the negotiating, underwriting, and they file an S1 and amendments responsive to the SEC. And then 2, they do their research and negotiations, which can go up to 19 months. They got to do regular periodic SEC filings. They identify who is their target business. They conduct their due diligence and acquisitions. They and then the approval closing phase of the SPAC will be around 3 to 5 months. And they announce their acquisition agreement. They file their proxies, and they have meetings with their investors and to talk about the transaction. And they obtain shareholders' approval, and they close the transaction, and some file the Super 8K. So it's a public company created to acquire a private company. So it works like there's a group of investors or sponsor who have a expertise in raising money to acquire a non-listed company. So the special purpose acquisition company, they want to raise the money. So some people are saying, well, what's the pros of them? It's the shares can be adjusted. So basically, it helps to make money. And the cons of it would be, it's they're going to be looking at a public company as a very long procedure, and it can be very risky. So it's never a sure thing. So always do your due diligence. Okay, so let's get into it, because you're like, well, I want to know. Oh, which ones are good? Which ones are good? Okay, let's go into some that you might have heard of. Okay, so Next Generation. Why Next Generation? Because all of you guys love Virgin Galactic. So Next Generation Acquisition to Corporation, ticker symbol NGCA. NGCA. Next Gen, and you're all like thinking Star Trek, but it's one of the major companies to go public, and so it helped with that company, and the company announced a merger with Virgin Orbit, and Virgin Orbit is Richard Branson's Virgin Group Empire Group, and so it's satellites. So if you like satellites, that could be very interesting. Then there's Zanite Acquisitions Corp, not to be confused with Zeolite. Zanite, SANITE Acquisitions Corp, ZNTE. So it focuses on business in the aerospace, defense, and up-and-coming technologies. They're headquartered in Ohio, and they've already generated over $230 million towards the merger. They're having confirmed talks with Eve Urban Air Mobility, and they're an aerospace firm. And so if you're interested in that, please take a look at that. Fusion Acquisition Corporation, FUSE, Fuse. So it is based out of New York City. They are focused on fintech space, and they're already announcing a merger with a mobile banking company called MoneyLion, and which is a financial app making mobile banking easier. So if you like so that was the Fuse, and Zanite Acquisition Corp was ZNTE. And let's see. Here's one. Reinvent Technology Partners, RTPY. So they have founded companies like LinkedIn. Everyone's probably on LinkedIn, and Zynga, ZYNGA. And let's see, it has a pending merger with Aurora, like the character from the Cinderella fairy tales, which is an autonomous vehicle startup. So they're in transportation. So if you would like to take a look at that one, that could be very interesting. Oh, and First Mark, they're out of New York, and they look at technology companies. I'm trying to think of like what, let's see. And so technology companies are doing very well. As you guys know, the FANG stocks, Facebook, Google, all those. Here's one, Soaring Eagle Acquisitions Corporation, SRNGU. They've literally been behind some of the top SPACs. So in like DraftKings we told you about, and Skills Public. So some of the people on the board and the team is Harry Sloan, Eli Baker, Jeff Sagensky, and so that could be very they could be very, very, very interesting, and they have a potential merger with Ginkgo's Bioworks Holdings, which are a biotech company that uses genetic engineering technology to create bacteria for specific industrial applications. Ooh, I don't know if we need any bacteria. We're getting into the Frankenstein kind of world, right? All this stuff. Who are they going to be experimenting on? And maybe they don't even experiment on anyone. Great. We're all going to be turned into zombies. Okay, it's Halloween when I'm doing this. So Dune Acquisitions Corp, not to be confused with Dune the movie, but Dune Acquisition Corp, ticker symbol Dune, DUNE. They're based out of Florida. They're founded by Carter Glatt. And this one trades under about $10. So, check that one out if you like that. There's a lot of these SPACs, but I thought it'd be very interesting to tell you one. Okay, Social Capital Hindosia IV or VI, which is iPod, ticker symbol, or IPOF. So this is iPod and IPOF. Why I'm telling you about this one, because everyone knows Chamath Palihapitiya. Chamath, he was one of the big people that, I believe it was Facebook, right? So those are his SPACs. And so the IPOC, the deals include have merged with Clover Health, and IPOE, which regionally merged with finance business SoFi. So, he took a pallet. I don't know how to say his name correctly. Chamath. He's the one that everyone knows about him because he took Virgin Galactic public with his first SPAC, IPOA. So it seems like it gets a lot of attention, a lot of hype, and as you know, hype and attention and influencers and advertising, whatever you want to call it, advertising, getting the eyeballs on it, seems like people will just jump on the bandwagon. So it doesn't even matter if it's good or not. If people are like, they're doing it, we got to do it. So do be careful of that kind of thing, because maybe they know that And if somebody's trying to hype you, you still got to do your due diligence. So always, please be careful. Everything's risky. Everything's a risk. And so, so those are some very interesting ones I wanted to tell you about. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more for the people that listen longer. This one is, I'm going to tell you about Richard Gershon from Falcon Edge Capital. Falcon Edge Capital is based in New York, and they're a venture capital and alternative asset management company. And Rick Gerson, he started his career at Tiger Management and co-founded Blue Ridge Capital. And so, in Falcon Edge Capital has invested over $1 billion in Indian tech startups. So, in just 4 months, and they invested in Swiggy, Dream11, and Policy Bazaar. So, I just want to tell you, he talks about SPACs and thought it would be interesting to tell you, what he likes and stuff. So we all know about C Limited, the Microsofts, Alphabets, and all those things. And Alphabet owns Google, YouTube, and Waymo. And so let me just see. C Limited, as you know, is in Singapore. And so I wanted to tell you, he has top 10 SPACs to buy. So that could be very interesting if he knows what's going on. You always want to do your due diligence. So Next Generation Acquisition Corporation, that's NGCA, Next Gen Acquisition Corp. So I think I told you about that one already, but just kind of, it's good to know, like you always want to know about, who likes it and why. And Next Gen Acquisition Corporation, they signed the agreement with Virgin Orbit. So that's why I think people are getting into it. Virgin Galactic and Virgin, it seems like people like that stuff, but you got to like it and just, we don't have crystal balls, but just see if that could be interesting too. But that's interesting that this is twice that this one has been mentioned. So Rabbit Leap Ltd. So this is LEAP. Leap is the ticker symbol. They're based out of California, and their chairman, co-founder is Meyer Malka Rice. So they went public in 2020, and they're in the fintech industry area. So if you like that kind of thing, do take a look at that. So it's ranking pretty high in the ones that people like. Jaws Spitfire Acquisition Corporation. So the ticker symbol is SPFR. And these SPACs, you do gotta do some research because remember they're risky. And Jaws Spitfire Acquisition Corporation, ticker symbol SPFR. It's in Florida. It specializes in mergers and assets acquisition. And the CEO is Matthew Joseph Walters. So if you like that kind of thing, and they are signed agreement to merge with a 3D printer manufacturing company. Remember, we've been talking about 3D printer manufacturing. So if you kind of like that one kind of thing, do look into that. CF Finance Acquisitions Corp. the third, ticker symbol CFACU. They're New York based, and so let's see what I could tell you about this one. It's like finance acquisition. Did a close the merger with AI, and so that could be interesting. Like in the autonomous vehicles. So that's kind of software, algorithms, and hardware. So just see if that's something you're interested in. Then there's Frontier Acquisitions Corp. FRONU is the ticker symbol, and they're based out of New York. They like new companies in the healthcare tech, biotech sectors, and their CEO is Christian Angermayer. And so see if you like that. So those are some that I think that you're very interested could be interested in. And like I said, please do your due diligence and research. And, SPACs could be very interesting for some people. And I'm going to give you a little recap, so that if you guys have been listening to, I'm going to give you the 10 cheapest SPACs to buy in 2021, or I'll just shorten to them. Because if you're listening, you guys are like, oh, just recap it for me. So, okay, so I'm just going to recap some. Rogers Silicon Valley acquisition. So Rogers Silicon Valley acquisition is RSVA. It's about $15. Cleaver Leaves, and that's CLVR. It's around $9. Canoe Inc., which is GOEV, and Canoe is CANOO, Canoe Inc., and that's around $7. Rush Street Interactive, RSI, about $14. Soaring Eagle Acquisition Units, here we go again, it's on another list, about $10. Burgundy Technology Acquisition Corp, about $10. Dune Acquisition Corp, about $10. That's the second time I told you about Dune Acquisitions. Lefteris Acquisition Corp, LEFTERIS Acquisition Corp, about $10. Red Ball Acquisition Corp, about $10. Altitude Acquisition Corp, about $10. So Altitude Acquisition Corp's ALTU, they're based out of Georgia, and they went public in 2020 and already generated $300 million. Oh my gosh. So that's why maybe you can get in them early. And Red Ball Acquisition Corp, that's ticker symbol RBAC. They're based out of New York, and they focus on business, and they're already earning like $575 million. Geez, they're just already just earning so much money. So if you really know what you're doing and study, you can like stretch your money, right? Lefteris Acquisition Corp, that's ticker symbol LFTR. They're based out of Boston, and it went public in October 2020 and has raised over $207 million apparently. And these are all approximately. I'm recapping them very short. Dune Acquisition Corp, Dune, it's based in Florida. It went public in December 2020 and raised over $172 million. So, Burgundy Technology Acquisition Corp, BTAQ. It's in the Cayman Islands, and it's headquartered in New York City, Cayman Islands. Wouldn't it be nice to go to the Cayman Islands? If anyone wants to send me there, please let me know. Round ticket. It's raised over $345 million at its first public offering, and it was been around this year, 2020. It has a market value of $436 million, and their chief executive officer is Leo Apotheker. So very interesting. Soaring Eagle Acquisitions, they're saying this one has a really, really, really great track record, and I even like the name Soaring Eagle. It's just kind of like the stock's going to keep soaring. Maybe I should call myself mogul to become a mogul. Let's see. Let me see what I can tell you about that. Oh yeah, that's the one that did they like online gaming, sports books, market, DraftKings, and skills on that. So Rush Street Interactive is RSI. And let's see. Oh, they were looking into Penn National Gaming, and so do look at that, casinos and stuff like that. So you just see if you like that one or not. Canoe, let's look at Canoe, CANOOO. It's all electric pickup truck. So if you like the electric market and that kind of area, like the Hyundai went into agreement to collaborate. So that could be interesting. Cleaver Leaves, CLVR. They're a cannabis company. They operate out of Colombia and soon to be Portugal. So if you like that cannabis and you want to get into cannabis, So look into Cleaver, and that could be very interesting. They're saying it has 1.8 million square feet of growing space in Colombia. So it could be, they're saying it's risen to be the leading licensed producer in Latin America. So kind of look at that if you're into cannabis. Rogers Silicon Valley Acquisition, which is RSVA. Let's see what I can tell you about that. They had, this had the acquisition of Innovix, and which is a design and manufactures lithium-ion batteries. And everyone's been going, oh, the batteries are more important than the car because you need the batteries to drive the electric car. So if you want to go into the lithium-ion batteries market, that could be very interesting for you to look. And also it serves patented 3D cell architecture. So that could be very, very interesting because Innovex is wearable technology, personal computers, augmented reality, virtual reality, mobile communications. So this could be very, very interesting. Innovex. See, if you listen, you might find something very, very interesting that could be great for your portfolio. Remember, not a licensed broker, it's for entertainment. Do check out our summaries, give us 5 stars with a nice review, subscribe to our YouTube channel to help support the podcast, buy me coffee, Sneakies, or PayPal anonymous content, or even check out our link to Robinhood and get a free stock to support the podcast. Thank you so much. Have a great day.